We are in Griffith Park, Los Angeles. Watch over. And I am trying out this new film roll, Boxpa. It is a Lomography 100 speed color film. Of course, I put it in my Canon EOS 1N. It's my first time trying out this film stock. We shot with a couple of friends on this hike this morning. I'm stoked to see the final images. Let's check it out. No, but seriously, this is what the audio sounded originally on that clip. We are in Griffith Park, Los Angeles today, going on a morning hike. It was so windy, but I managed to turn it into this. We are in Griffith Park, Los Angeles. Watch over. If you guys haven't tried out that Adobe Podcast Enhanced Speech website feature thing, you guys have to try it out. It is so good, so powerful. I never have it at 100% strength. I usually bring it down to like 60 or 70% strength, but it is such an amazing tool for all creators and really anyone making short form content. It is the best audio saver ever. Anyways, let's talk about the film stock. Like I mentioned in the intro, Lomography 100 is a color negative film stock with a film speed of 100 ISO, so it's really meant for outdoor daylight, bright light situations, and that is exactly how we shot this. I shot everything perfectly even exposure on my Canon EOS 1M with my Canon 28mm f2.8 lens. The reason I even tried this film stock in the first place is because I actually love Lomography 800 film stock, and so I figure this was on sale at my recent shop for like $10, $11 CAD, which is an amazing price obviously for film, and I picked a roll up just to try it out, and I am pleasantly surprised. Now, mind you, the regular price of this film roll is like $18.50 CAD, which is a bit expensive in my opinion for a lower brand name film stock, but it is 2024, I totally get it. $18.50 is not the end of the world, but on sale, it was a great price. Okay, first up, let's talk about detail and grain. Obviously, with a low ISO film speed like 100 on a film stock, you would expect there to be little to no grain, and if there is grain, to have very soft or small grain in the images, and that is exactly what this produced. So long as the images are perfectly exposed, there's actually very little grain to even notice in the images. If the images are even slightly underexposed, you do see a small amount of grain, but it's not distracting or anything. But at even exposure, there's basically no grain, which is kind of trippy. So when it comes to detail and sharpness, I give this an A-OK. Next up, my favorite thing about film, obviously, is the color. This film stock leans a lot more vibrant than other similar 100-ish or 160-ish film speed film stocks, and for that, I actually really enjoy it. I like punchier colors in my film photos, and this definitely produced a lot of punchy colors in the blues, aquas, oranges, and yellows. I found the greens to be actually quite desaturating compared to other colors in the mix, which I prefer. I actually like my greens to be a bit desaturating, so I really enjoyed that about this film stock. And then when it came to shadows and highlights, I found that there was a bit of a warmer hue to these images. The shadows definitely have a green-yellow tint to them, while the highlights have a bit of an orange-yellow hue to them. If I was to craft my perfect everyday film stock for outdoor style shooting, this would honestly be up there in terms of color. Next up, let's talk about exposure and contrast. Exposure seemed to be pretty good across the board. I found the highlights to be a little bit hot at times, which is not my favorite thing. I love when whites are not pure white, they're a bit of a squashed gray white, but that's okay, that's not the end of the world. The shadows I thought were fantastic. They were lifted just enough to show detail in the dark shadows, but not too much to totally just wash out the black and make it gray. And then in terms of contrast, I would say this film stock has about a medium to high amount of contrast, which for a film stock out the gate, straight out of camera, is pretty impressive. Normally when I edit my film photos in post, I always have to bring up the contrast or the dehaze. On these, out the camera, they were pretty darn contrasty, which I really like. Honestly, this film stock out the box is a great ready-to-use, easy, outdoor, high-light environment film stock to use for your everyday shooting, especially if you can find it for a good price. It would be a great option to bring with you traveling, or like my example, on a hike, where you can run through multiple rolls and not worry about breaking the bank as much as you would on, let's say, a Fortra 160. Would I buy this film stock again? Yes, I definitely would. Now, Fortra 160, as you guys know, is my all-time favorite low ISO film stock, but this one is actually quite up there in terms of all the things we've talked about here today. I love the level of grain that this film produces, I love the colors, and I love the level of contrast. And really, with a film stock that was on sale, not by one of the top brands like Fuji and Kodak, what more can you ask for? Comment down below what film stocks you guys want to see me use next and try out, because I love making these film review videos for you guys. But until next time, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.